Hi, tequila friends. Welcome to the One with Life podcast. Um, the reason we are starting a podcast is because there's much more to One with Life tequila than just the spirit, the alcohol, the actual tequila. We have a message behind it of what it means to be one with life. And that message is something that's driving our team forward, even when there are barriers to our success and when there's struggles and anything else that one encounters when you have your own business. The thing that really is keeping us going is the message of being one with life and sharing that message with all of you and sharing our journey with you. And also sharing the message of what it's like to be one with life from people that we're interviewing. We'll be interviewing a lot of very interesting people that have journeys that are unique that they'd like to share with you. And so we decided to start a podcast, and my son, Nico Avella, is the producer along with Tweed Dreams Productions. And Nico, you've probably seen me post about him. He's a professional musician, a sound healer, a philosopher, and many other things. Graduated from Berklee School of Music and Abbey Road Music Institute for grad school. So very lucky to have him participating in this. And Brendan Pike, who is behind the scenes, is a filmmaker with Tweed Dreams, and he's working with us as well, and he's awesome. So that's our team. We look forward to having a lot of really fun episodes with you and slowly unfolding the message. And what the message of being one with life means to me is being at peace in the present moment, not carrying around the past, not worrying about the future, but just simply engaging in what's in front of you in that moment, because that moment is the only time that really exists. And when you are at peace in the present moment, you come to a place beyond ego, beyond the mind, beyond thinking, into a place of our natural state. And that's where we're all trying to get back to. What do you think, Nico?
Absolutely. I think that's all very, very true in my experience, at least. I think it'd be interesting for you to explain to the listeners. Maybe we can go a little bit back to the beginning of when you started the company and how that represented, a sort of transition of you wanting to get yourself in alignment with that message of being one with life, and how that transition sort of unfolded, and how in that process you were able to stay connected to that message. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Thank you. Yeah, so when I first started the company, it was actually 7 years, 8 months ago. I was working in the criminal justice field for 28 years, and it was very dark, it was very heavy, and tequila had always been a metaphor for being lighthearted and fun and not taking yourself too seriously. So I was immediately drawn to tequila for what it symbolized. And then in terms of the name One with Life, I picked that name because it had very special meaning to me. I had read a book from Eckhart Tolle, 2 books actually from Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now and The New Earth. And he talked about what it meant to be one with life and getting back to the present moment. Those books were life-changing for me at a time when I was going through a lot of adversity. And when we started the tequila company, it was really important to me that that message got shared with others, using the bottle of tequila as a vessel to spread that message.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it's a great story. So whenever I tell my friends or certain people about the tequila and the One with Life message, they're always interested in that connection between the tequila and the message of being one with life. And I think there's a lot of subtlety there, and there's a lot of deep wisdom in connection between those two elements. And so maybe you could talk about that a little bit more, about how you see a connection. You said how tequila was symbolic of, lightheartedness, joy. So maybe you could explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, so I mean, we tend to really get caught up in our heads. We tend to stay in a place of the mind and not rise above it. Sometimes we go below it, but it's hard to rise above it. And when you are drinking tequila with your friends, um, you have the opportunity to really be fully engaged in the conversation that you're having. You put your cell phone away, you put your computer away, and you're just connecting to another human being. And that connection helps us become present and helps us become one with life. So it's the connection to other people, it's the connection to the divinity within ourselves, which that comes from self-reflection, that comes from stillness and quieting the mind, and also the connection to the earth. And one of the things that I really love about One with Life Tequila is that it is connected to the earth because it's organic. For the 7 years that it's harvested, there's no pesticides, there's no synthetic fertilizers used. It's sustainably farmed and additive free. So those are all things that are natural and connected back to the earth. As far as the message in the bottle, we have a different inspirational message inside of each bottle. And our tagline is 99% peaceful, 1% wild. The messages in each bottle and the toast that we have on the back label really reinforce that connection that we're trying to make between the tequila and the philosophical message of being peacefully engaged in the present moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people when they think of tequila, they have the certain associations with it. Like maybe they had some crazy college experience with the tequila, or something that they heard about someone drinking too much and doing something crazy. But I think they don't realize a lot of what you had just said about, first of all, like the connection of the tequila to the planet, to the agave plant, and to the beautiful agricultural practices that these farmers who've worked for years and years, generations of their family, it's a part of like their way of life, their spirituality, their connection to the planet and the environment. And by supporting the brand and by getting involved in this process, we're supporting that family and their practice and their connection with the earth. So there's that aspect. And then you also think about the fact that you were talking about connection and community. When people come to drink together, tequila, especially in different cultures, in the Latin American cultures, it's about a celebration. It's about coming together to experience joy together with community and with family. And that's something that we're all seeking. And that's something that brings us into a state of presence and brings us into being one with life. So I think when you think about all those other aspects, you really see how one with life as a message is connected to tequila.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's all about joyfulness. I mean, everything we do in life is because we want to be more joyful. We want to be happy. We want to have more peace in our lives and be lighthearted and take away some of the heaviness. And yes, when Nico and I just went to Mexico when they were making our next batch and our anejo that's coming out, and he got to see firsthand the labor of love that is put into making tequila. And he met the Montez family. They're a third generation family of farmers that make One with Life tequila, and they're really known for doing this from their heart. They're not a huge conglomerate. They're out there themselves doing everything. The men are out in the fields. The women are doing the bottling and the production. And they have so much pride in what they do and so much love that they put into it. And I think that makes a huge difference in the quality of the product that we produce with them. So now, speaking of tequila, I have this is one of my favorites. It's always my go-to for parties, a strawberry basil lemonade. That's so easy to make. All you need is One with Life tequila. This is fresh pressed lemonade from a farm store down the block from me called Bedner's, but you can use any kind of lemonade, some fresh homegrown basil, and fresh homegrown strawberries from Bedner's as well. And you can put a splash of sparkling water or club soda if you want. So easy to make and so delicious. So I'm going to do a little toast now with all of you. And hold up our glasses. Let's toast to being fully present, listening deeply, speaking with love, and being one with life. Salud. Thanks, everybody. Now, before we sign off, I'm going to ask Nico to bring us into a state of Zen with some more sound healing. Namaste.